I've been driving around for almost 30 minutes. I wanted to come fish this particular area. A friend of mine's been doing really well in this area, uh, pulling harnesses. I'm not pulling harnesses today. I'm going to jig them, but I got to find them before I can do that. So I've been driving around for, like I say, about the last 30 minutes looking for a fishable school of fish. And I just drove over them. So I shut the boat off real quick. We got the camera set up. So let's start our 90 minutes now. I got to get the starting five out. Probably won't even be a starting five. Oh, I just swallowed a bug. Stupid little bugs. Oh. Okay. Let me get you guys out of the way here for a second. What a beautiful morning. What's up, Merlin? Switched up blades. Hey, what's up, everybody? Look at everybody here. Stupid bugs. Merlin E-Tricks, Bob Bender, John Burroughs. John Burroughs, I like this. A lot less fuel and my arm isn't sore from jigging. Well, I'm going to start jigging here in about 2 seconds. I am drifting now. I'm in deeper water. I'm in 29 right now. So I picked up homie with a little bit of bling on him. See if I can get just that little bit more enticement down there. We'll see. Got a nice soft east wind, perfect drift. I don't have a bag out and I'm doing 0.5. Oh. I don't have any place to put you guys that isn't going to be windy. Let's see here. Give me a second. Let me put my bag out. Let's see here, guys. I'm trying to think where I can put you to keep you out of the wind. How's that for wind noise? Did anybody look at the? Well, I looked at the leaderboard for the Derby up on the St. Lawrence. Yesterday was day one. There's 101 guys in the Elite Series. I can't keep it downwind from me. The wind's. If the wind's too bad, I'll just turn it off and I'll just film a video. So there's 101 guys in the Elite Series, and 58 of them yesterday weighed over 20 pounds. And God, there was 12 or 13 that weighed over 25, and the leader's at 26 too. After one day. All right. Because I can only go live on my phone. Maybe tomorrow I'll bring my earbuds and see if that'll help any. Bad audio sucks. Sounds like it should. Yeah, right? I'm going to have to go to a jig and wrap here in this deep water. It takes forever for this blade to get down there. Fish and walleye, yes sir. We're jigging them this morning. Trying to anyway. I'm from Northern Ontario. I've caught a few thousand. Yeah, me too. Excuse me. Where in Northern Ontario, Chris? And how'd you find me? Are you targeting a shoal, depth, or temp zone? No, Fred. I found fish out deep. I came upwind and marked them. I stopped, and now I'm drifting back over them jigging. Although this spot I can tell you right now is going to be on the clock already. Because one of the shoals I regularly fish is just to the north of me, and with this wind blowing onto those, oh, there's one. First one of the days is short. Whoa! Sorry. Hold still. Let's try that again. He just lambasted. Hold still, guys. He just lambasted my camera. Yeah, on cue. You got it, Merlin. This is the one-eyed purple puppet. That was the first cast with it too. Oh, there was one right there. See if he comes back. Joe, I'm not. It's the bigger one. I've got three sizes of them, and this is the biggest one. I don't 100% know. It must be the number 3, I guess. Yak Shore Outdoors. How you doing? Hope you catch a ton. Roger that. Where are you fishing today? I'm on a night of lake in upstate New York. Yak, where you at? Yak Shore Attack. Yak Shore Outdoors. Tennessee. What's up, man? That's awesome. Originally from Michigan, though. Okay. So what are you doing in Tennessee? You got a channel down there? What's your deal? The Extra Outdoors is a channel I made to showcase fishing as a family sport. Oh, nice. I originally fished from only a kayak in the bank. However, once my daughter was born, it shifted. I'm currently working on a boat. Merlin, welcome to the club. Yep, that's right, man. Because of boat repairs, it's mostly on pause, though. Right, tell me about it. Rebuilding a 93 Sea Nymph fishing ski. Ah, right on. All right, hold tight. I'm going to. I'm going to pull the bag, go back up. I want to go over them again real quick, and then we'll just hold on. Let's do this here. We got fish on the bottom here, and they're pegged too. That's 4-color on top, which is full screen. And the bottom is 2D downscan, and that is just zoomed into the bottom 5 feet. fish on the screen, yes. You know, and there's multiple ways of looking at electronics. You know, if I was going to go, like when I go fish the rocks on these reefs, I'm not driving over it, especially if it's shallow. I'm not driving over it and scanning it. I'm just going and fishing it, and then your rods become the fish finder. Out here in this deep water, a lot of water out here, and if you don't find them in the drift you want to go and fish before you start fishing it, it might, you could just be fishing the bare water. And so when I'm jigging and I'm out drifting, my eyes are glued to the screen all the time. And when I'm looking in an area that I want to stop and fish, I almost always am looking going into the wind. And I like to line myself up exactly with the way the wind's going to push me back. And so when I make a line and I make a trail and I go up through an area and I see those fish, sometimes I'll hit marks as I see them, so I know I can get back to them. Or other times it's simply I just used my track line to go back down over it. So, like I say, when I'm going jigging and I'm out going to fish an area, I'm looking first. That's why I drove around for 30 minutes this morning before I turned the camera on, because I had to find something first before out here. You know, like I say, if we pop smoke and go over to the rocks, I don't need to worry about my electronics in there. I'm going in. I'm using my electronics to find the rocks that I want, but then I just spot lock on it, and you could drift across it, but I spot lock on it, and then I start to fish it. we're at 30 minutes. Boy, I got to make a decision here. Bugs are crawling in my nose, in my eye, my ear. cleared up. It's not. All right, we're moving. What's up, Wiz? All right. Looks like the wicked wind of the east. Yeah, it is blowing out of the east, but it's not hard by any means. All right, let's find a new home. Put the trolling motor down. I'm going to find some rocks here, and I'm going to spot lock. Live outdoors. What's up? All right. What's your boat? I have I'm on the StarCraft Pros team. It is a 2023 StarCraft 188 Delta 188 DC Pro. Boy, there's a lot of floating weeds out here today. This wind switches back around and it just pushes them from one end to the other. And every place I go to cast, there's just clumps and clumps of floating weeds. Boy. I'm gonna bail on this too. This is not. I can't get it. I can't get anything through these weeds in here. Live outdoors. Have I had any luck? I've got one short walleye so far. and we're over halfway through the day. Hey, Mark, how you doing? I'll save you a few. One short walleye still sounds better than one day of work. Well, I leave here and I go to work, so. All right, this is frustrating me already. All right, let's see here. Well, Jeff, what's a good graph to buy? You can see everything I own is Garmin. Um, that is very personal. When I was getting ready to buy my very first Garmin, which was the 7-inch that I had on my old boat, which I use still on this boat. I did extensive research and consumer reports and found all of them, what each one does better than the other. I don't have any experience with modern Lowrance or Humminbird, so I can't speak to them. All my modern electronics have been Garmin, and I love them. But again, I have no other experience, and every one of these companies does something individually that's a little different, and they're better at certain things. Humminbird has the Mega 360, which is supposed to be pretty cool, but the Garmin LiveScope is the best of the live forward-facing sonars. they're all good, and they're all about the same price. And it's preference. It's what you like. It's how you like it. And I would suggest doing some research and going on each of the company's websites and reading about. That's what I did. Um, and I also had, I mean, I had a friend of mine that had a Garmin, and he raved about it. And I was on the boat with him, and he walked me through a little bit of it. And it seemed fairly self-explanatory, which was nice. So it works for me. My next boat, hard to say what I'll have on it. I've thought about Humminbird. I've thought about trying that Mega 360 instead of the Live Scope for the next boat. I'm not sure. Live outdoors, I think graphs are like shoes, find one you like and they all work well. I agree with that. I mean, it's everything in life is personal preference. There is no one best and only thing, I mean, really in anything. Ooh, hey now. All right, let's try this again. Live outdoors, where are you from, buddy? Michigan, right on. I suck at fishing. Aw. He's going to come back, though. I have a couple friends of mine that are StarCraft pros that guide the Detroit River. And best of luck too with your guide service. I started guiding in 1994. Hard to believe it's been 30 years. Yeah, I was going to try and get out there with my one buddy to the Detroit this spring. I really want to do a Midwest spring walleye spawning run trip next year and spend a month, and just fish it all through the Great Lakes. I've never done it. Last year was the first year here in New York because of a soft winter that I've ever had my boat in the water in this lake that I'm on because our walleye season ends March 15th, and then it doesn't reopen until May 1st. We don't get to fish them during the spawn. And that was the first time in my life that I've had my boat in the water in early March, able to come chase those pre-spawn walleyes. And it was a lot of fun last year. I looked forward to it, but I've never been to an area where you can fish them during the spawn and they're migrating in the river like that. Nerves are, yeah, nervous. Listen, you go into guiding the same way you go into every day in your life. You go in with the best intentions and you're focused on what you can control because you can't make the fish bite. And so every guide out there, every guide that's ever guided, we all take our turn in the barrel sometimes. The fish bite, the fish don't bite. You can be on them, and they're not going, then you just got to go find other ones, and you got to do what you do and stay in your wheelhouse. And when you have things that you do and you do well, then take the time to share that knowledge with your customers, because even on the days where you're not catching fish one right after another, people still want to soak up what you know. You're the guide. You're the professional. You're the one that they've put their money and their trust in, and um, guiding is so much more than just catching fish. It really truly is, and the best guides will tell you that without even hesitating. All right, so this big craw is not doing the trick. Chuck a swim bait around here for a minute. And nowadays it's funny. So nowadays it just seems that there's so much more open for guides, especially too. When I was coming up, I was on Lake Ontario in the trout and salmon world. I spent my summers on the back of a charter boat, and I spent my spring, fall, and winter in a drift boat in the tributaries. So I was really locked in. And so for once in a great while, in the spring, we used to do walleye trips at night. And once in a while in the summertime, if fishing wasn't great for the trout and salmon, we would switch over and do some smallmouth trips, but off the big boat. But nowadays, with such good equipment boat-wise, smaller boats can do so much more now than they ever did before. It's really opened up so many fisheries, and guides can take clients, on any given day to 5 different bodies of water and catch 5 different species of fish. So it's really pretty awesome in that respect. Modern guiding has changed dramatically. And it seems like this is a little bit more fun too, to do things that you can, now you're in Michigan. I'm sure you only named 2 things. I mean, Lake Michigan, Detroit River, so you must be right there in and around Detroit. Lake St. Clair, Lake Huron, so you got, that's not to mention your inland lakes, which I don't know anything about. So you got a lot of different options. I only got 20 minutes left. I got to rig up a different color craw, and I got to slide out here a little bit. Oh yeah, you're right in the heart of it, man. Scott G. I got that jerkbait ready, buddy. I got it ready. now I'm up on the rocks in 14 foot of water. We're going to rig up real quick. We're going to rig up another jig that I want to drag on the bottom in here. I found these the other day up to All Season Sports in Pulaski, and I'll just give a quick shout out. Well, there's multiple shops up there that are fantastic. You have All Season Sports and Fat Nancy's, which are the two biggest ones right as you get off 81 in Pulaski. So this is made by Missile Baits. This is a Mike Iaconelli Signature Series jig, and it's a beauty. It's a 3/8 of an ounce tungsten head, but look at that little thing. It's a finesse jig, football head. That football head allows it to go through those rocks better without getting hung up. I already know what I'm gonna put on it. It's got a nice little keeper on it. I'm gonna throw a Strike King. I'm going to put a Strike King Rage Tail on there. It's a little 3-incher. I'm also going to cut the first 2 segments off it so it's not so big. Just like that. So when you measure it like this, I want my hook to come out just in the head of it. Matter of fact, I'm going to take off one more little body segment. That is a good looking little jig right there. And oh, it's got a little bit of paint in the eye. I'm running out of time here, boys. I got to get moving. All right, let's get back to it. What does that say? All right. Let's get that little puppy out there to start hunting. And this has been my best walleye jig, so don't think for 1 second that it's only smallmouth in these rocks. Matter of fact, there's been more walleyes in these rocks this past month and a half than there's been anything else. Vic Morrison, what's going on? All right, we got 8 minutes left, so I'll make my last cast with this one, and then I'll go through. I got 5 other rods on the deck. We'll do a cast with each, and we'll fish our way out. Okay. for sure I get bit on the Ned rig. Here we go. I'm going to assume sheep's head. We'll see. Yep, sheep's head. Sheepy. The old Sheepy Deluxe right there. They have not been shy this year about biting, boy, I'll tell you. Make sheep's head great again. They fight, they fight, they fight. Oh, we wish a walleye fought like that. Yeah, I've eaten sheep's head before as well. We used to do a fish fry at my old tackle shop, a couple days a week for lunch, and then just a bunch of buddies would show up, and a couple times we had it. We'd caught a few and we threw them in the fryer, and honestly, nobody knew the difference. I had a guy a couple years ago now give me a hard time, big time hard time on here. He's like, "Why do you like to catch sheep's head? You can't eat them. They're trash. I don't know why you like to catch them." And I'm like, again, it's a very rare occurrence in my life, for me, in my fishing life especially, where I've ever said to myself, man, I could go for a fish dinner and then I go fishing. It's never been that way with me. I do eat fish, not a ton. Nobody in my family at home is really all that into it. So I don't keep many fish because that would be a waste. And I personally, I'm not going to go through all the work of filleting and cleaning them and package them and freezing them only to give them away. I mean, a lot of people do, and that's wonderful. It's very nice of them. But if somebody says to me, "Hey, you got any fish?" I typically say, "Hey, why don't you come fishing with me?" As opposed to, "Yeah, here, I got some for you." All right, last couple casts. So when I say how much I enjoy catching these sheep's head, it's out of the pure joy of catching them, because they're a riot. They fight, they pull. About the only thing in this lake that pulls drag, that's for sure. Yeah, no question. I mean, a perch is pretty easy. You slide the knife, or a walleye, you slide the knife through it, you take the bones out, and boom, you're done. Look at me, I'm 10 minutes over. Well, this is my last cast anyway. All right, boys and girls, fishermen of all ages, that's a wrap for me today. Have a great Friday. The weather looks mixed for the weekend here in upstate New York. So I don't think it's going to be unfishable like it was last weekend. But get out, go fishing, enjoy yourself. Summer's almost over. The New York State Fair starts next week. Again, if you're a New Yorker, that's a big deal, and it means the end of summer is near. We'll be talking about Labor Day before we know it, and we'll be into fall fishing before you know it. So thank you for joining me once again today. I can't do it without you guys, and I do it because of you guys. So have a great one. Keep your tip up.